to continue writing our petition essay. So to begin, I want to make sure that you have your notebook with you and something to write with. The reason I need you to have your notebook is because you are going to create all of your information, your writing, your brainstorming, write all your thoughts in one place. I don't want you to lose it, and when it comes time to write the final essay, I need you to have all your information together so that you're not thinking about, oh, what was my idea and all of that. You need to have it all in one place, so make sure that you are continuing to do that, okay? So to begin, we are going to go over Kernel Essays. So Kernel Essays, as we reviewed in the video before this, is just a way to organize our thoughts. So what we talked about before is the problem is, right? This is how we begin our petition writing, by identifying the problem. So we already went over that. Then we went over why the problem is important to you, or why we should care about the problem. Why is the problem important to us? Now today we are going to be talking about supporting facts and information. So how do I make sure that I have correct facts and correct information to support the problem that I'm talking about? Okay, so as you remember from my previous video, I did use Greta Thunberg as an example to create my petition writing. So I talked about how Greta Thunberg's problem was that there needs to be a more urgent call for climate change laws in our world, because we are just letting our earth die before us, and we're not recycling, we're not taking care of our earth in the ways that we're supposed to. We're polluting the oceans, we're not taking care of our animals, all of those things. So this is going to be how I am going to begin my next sentence. So my supporting facts / information is ecosystems are dying. This is what Greta Thunberg said in her YouTube video in the petition that we heard. So ecosystems are dying. Now, to talk about the information and the facts, I want to make sure we are clear on what a fact is. Okay, so a fact would be right here. More than 60% of the Great Barrier Reef has bleached. Okay, so just to make sure that you'll know what a coral reef is, or the Great Barrier Reef, it is a place underneath the ocean where all of these coral reefs are seen. So I don't know if any of y'all have seen Finding Nemo, but it is where little Nemo used to live. He lived in a coral reef, so that was his home. It's a lot of homes, and they're actually animals. They're alive, so they live underneath the ocean. So since Greta Thunberg was talking about ecosystems dying, my sentence is going to be more specific. My fact is saying that more than 60% of the Great Barrier Reefs has bleached. Bleach just means that the water is getting too warm in the ocean, and the color is being taken out of the coral reefs. They're turning white. They're beautiful in rainbow colors, but they're all turning white, and that means that they're soon going to die. And if those coral reefs die, well, we won't have more animals. We won't have more life under the ocean. Ecosystem have more animals, we won't have more life under the ocean. Ecosystems are going to collapse, just like Greta Thunberg said. So what is a fact? Remember that a fact, well, a fact can include numbers. It doesn't have to, but it can. I'm going to add that right there. It can include numbers, because numbers always tell the truth, right? When we do math, there's no way around it. If 2 + 2 = 4, well, that's the truth. So right here, this sentence does include numbers. 60% of the Great Barrier Reef has bleached. But it also has to be true. It cannot be changed. A fact cannot be changed. So if I say that, scientists went down in the ocean and they realized that more than 60% of the Great Barrier Reefs has been bleached, they counted each coral reef and they figured out 60% of them have been bleached. Well, that's not going to change if another person does it, right? They're not going to say, oh no, it's only 25%, because this is science, this is math, this is a fact. It needs to be true, absolutely, positively true. All right, so a fact is something that you can read in a book, you can Google, you can also use Kindle. I'm going to include some websites for y'all to use. Make sure to consult the library, those books on Epic. Those are places where you can find facts. Remember, the most important thing is that they need to be true. Well, what is not a fact? What we need to avoid is opinions. So if I say, my supporting facts / information is that it's so sad that these animals are dying. Well, I agree, these animals are dying in the ecosystems, but that is an opinion. And an opinion has to do with feelings. It has to do with your thoughts. And it is not research, right? Did I have to go onto Google to find that it is so sad that animals are dying? Well, I'm sure that's on Google, but no, that's something that I thought of myself. I just wrote it right now. It is so sad that animals are dying. That has to do with my feelings. Sad has to do with my thoughts. That's what I think. And it is not research. I did not type it in, and I did not find it in a book, in an article. I just thought of it myself. So that is an opinion, and that is what we need to make sure we avoid. Okay, so scholars, that is what you are going to be doing. Now you are going to be writing your supporting fact and information sentence. So I'm going to get my little sticky note there so that I know how to start off my sentence. My supporting fact, and I don't have to put the slash because that means choose one or the other. My supporting fact is that 60% of, I need to make sure that I have it right, we have to make sure we have our facts right, is that more than 60% of the Great Barrier Reef has bleached. My supporting fact is that 60% of the Great Barrier Reef has bleached. And that supports how climate change laws need to be enacted now. All right, scholars, I hope that you make sure to remember to finish your sentence with this sentence starter. My supporting fact / information is, it could be in another way, but I want to make sure that if you are kind of hesitant on how to start it, to use this to help you out, and that you remember we are only using facts. We are not using opinions. We are only using things that are true. We're not using our feelings and thoughts. That could be at another time, just not now. All right, scholars, good luck.